Hi, I'm Dan Martell, serial entrepreneur, investor, and creator of SaaS Academy. And in this video, I'm going to share with you how to perfect your SaaS pricing. And be sure to stay to the end where I tell you how to get a copy of my Rocket Demo Builder. If you're doing product demos, this framework will help you crush those. So when it comes to pricing your SaaS business, it is one of those black arts, okay? So this framework is specifically focused on the early days. I remember I was building my company, flowdown.com. We had just raised a bunch of funding, and I was trying to figure out, like, how should we price our product? We're a social marketing application for email, so you give us email addresses, we'd add social data on top of it, and we were like, should we charge 1 cent per email? Should we charge 5 cents per email? Should we charge $20 a month? Should we up that to $100 a month? Because the truth is if you think about pricing, it says a lot about the product. To ask somebody what they feel about a product without mentioning the pricing is like asking somebody to buy a pair of jeans without trying them on. It really makes no sense because we don't know if it's going to be a fit. You know, one of the things that I get to do when I coach software founders is to look at their current pricing structure and their adoption rate and just offer some quick advice. I mean, at a low-hanging fruit opportunity level, every one of you watching this could probably raise your prices by 20%. That's the low-hanging fruit. I'm actually going to give you the 3 steps, and really it's a formula for figuring out your pricing fast in the early days. Step number 1, 10x value. I remember one time I was listening to a podcast and the founder was explaining their pricing structure, and they started at $1,000 a month. Now, for most B2B SaaS businesses, that's on the high end. Most of them are kind of $197 and onward. And the argument from the founder was that they were a Q&A software, so essentially they allowed companies to reduce their deficiencies. And their argument was that, for $12,000 a year, we help them save 1 full-time engineer's cost. And I don't know about you, but in most major cities, we're talking 6 figures, so 100,000 plus 120,000. So they passed the 10x value. So you need to ask yourself, it doesn't matter if it's $30 a month or $100 a month, can you get every customer to perceive and feel 10x value? Number 2, 5% more. One of my quick rules of thumb is that every time you talk to a customer in the early days, just raise your prices by 5%. Now, some people are like, Dan, that's crazy. We're going to get out of whack really quick. Look, here's the deal, is maybe you do it every 10 customers, but if you're not continuously testing the next price limit, look, your product's changing. You're adding new features. You're creating more value for your customers. So by adding or increasing your prices by 5%, you're going to start testing the upper limit of what customers are willing to pay for. And that just sets the process and team structure to think about, like, how does our product add value and can we justify the increase in price? But like I said, most of you guys are underpricing, so just start there, do it for the next 10 customers, see if there's any pushback, and keep going onward. Number 3, 20% pushback. So yes, increase your prices by 5%. Maybe you want to do it for every net new customer, or you want to do it in blocks of 10, or if you're feeling a little afraid, you go in blocks of 50, whatever your jam is. But the key is to keep pushing up until you get 20% or so of the customers pushing back and saying no. Like, I can remember talking to a founder once, and they were like, everybody we talked to has bought the product. And I'm like, put your prices up. They're like, why would we do that? It's like, well, if everybody's buying, if you're not losing 20 to 30% of your customers that you approach, I mean, at a minimum, then you're not charging enough for the product. And to me, when we think about like price yielding curves and how do we optimize kind of how we price the product, 20% pushback's a good feedback loop. Again, this is early days before you have a lot of data to really dive in and create the right packages and target in or segment the right customers. So you want to push for 20% pushback. So step number 4, which is a bonus, is the 10-5-20 rule. Think about it. Put all 3 steps together. 10 times the value, 5% increases till 20% pushback. If you're early days in your startup, just think about that framework when you're talking to your team and just slowly execute the pricing strategy, because like I said, most of you guys could benefit from an increase in price. It's going to get you to profitability there faster and is really going to keep the team focus on generating value for your customer. So quick recap: 1, 10x value always; 2, increase by 5% increments; and 3, push until you get 20% of your customers saying, not gonna buy. As I mentioned in this video, I wanna share an incredible resource called the Rocket Demo Builder. You can click the link below in the description to download that. It will help you present and communicate your value to a customer in a fraction of the time and get them to commit to buying from you during that demo. And if you like this video, be sure to click the like button, subscribe to my channel, and if you know somebody who could benefit, be sure to share it with them. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week. Dun, 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 dun.
I still don't think you mentioned to get in the bottom.
I did right at the beginning.
You did? Okay.
I did, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Done.